Hey, what's good with you, bruh? So, let me tell you the new message I got, man. It's like, I was doing my studies, and you never really know what you're going to expect. You're just doing your devotion, you being dedicated. Why did I hear the Spirit tell me I can still birth greatness? You know that, right? I'm like, still birth greatness? What this got to do with anything? I'm supposed to be studying the Old Testament. So, after that, I just kept on praying on it. I kept letting that marinate and sit in my spirit. And then he took me to Luke. And I started reading the first 2 chapters, and I was like, oh my goodness. I'm about to read about the birth of Jesus and the birth of John, and how these are some of the most prolific names in the Bible, and it's talking about Luke's accounts of their birth. And then from there, I started thinking like, okay, let's do it. I'm with it. I'm like, okay, God, you're going to birth greatness. It's got to be something great coming up. What am I supposed to say to me, and what am I supposed to say to them? And that's how you know it's a good message. Like when it do something to you and you're like, oh, okay, let's go, God. Let's go. I'm with it. That's how that's how I was. I was excited. I was ready to do it. So the first chapters talks about Zacharias. Now, Zacharias is this priest, he doing this thing, and he's got a wife. Her name is Elizabeth. Now, Elizabeth is going to be the mother of John the Baptist. Now, this is when Zacharias finds out. He's on duty. He's doing his priestly duties, you know what I'm saying? And then after he starts doing these priestly duties, that's when an angel comes to him. And the angel comes to him and he says, you're going to have a son. And Zacharias is like, what you mean, man? I'm mad old. My wife been barren since I met her, and she mad old. There's no way. So now the angel is like, okay, fine. You don't want to believe me. You don't want to have faith. How about you can't say nothing? He's mute. So after he's mute, it fast forwards a little bit to talk about Mary. So now the same angel comes to Mary, and he's like, yo, you about to have a son. Your cousin, Elizabeth, she pregnant right now. Now, what's about to happen is you're going to get pregnant even though you're a virgin. So she says, okay, I'm a virgin. How am I going to get pregnant if I never knew a man? And then that's when he looks at her and says, the Holy Spirit is going to come over you. And now I'm just looking like, okay, I know this story, but when it starts coming to talk about birthing greatness, I'm looking at God for some insight. I'm looking at God for him to bring it a little more clear. So then he's like, just keep reading, son. You owe me another. You owe me some more time. So I'm reading. And then it starts to click. And what I noticed was when it was Elizabeth having John the Baptist, the angel came to the man. But when it was Jesus being born, the angel came to the woman. And I was like, okay, why did they do it like this? And I started praying on that. And the Lord said, I make no mistakes. I don't do coincidences. Everything I do is on purpose. And it's to show what you have to do in order to birth greatness, your atmosphere. What happens is, in one instance, the husband didn't have no faith. And that lack of faith affected the wife. Because if he did not get that blessing, if he did not believe that angel, then what would have happened? His whole blessing, the whole birthing of that child could have been negated or passed on to somebody else. Sometimes we could be in relationships with people that are attached to us that may be the reason we miss our blessing, or may get affected because they don't have the faith necessary. But the good thing about Zacharias was he was obedient. So that was good. And now that we go to the opposite side of it, was you had Mary. She had faith and obedience. So soon as the angel said to her, yo, this is what's going to happen, she's like, I'm with it. Thy will be done. And from there, she had to have the faith to go to her inner circle, which is her husband, Joseph. And now imagine your wife coming to you like, hey, I'm pregnant and it ain't yours. And he has all the ability to stone her. Sometimes we can be in relationships with close people in our inner circle that may find out that we have a blessing may find out that we're prepared to birth greatness, and because they have the authority to kill us, they might not have that passion that Joseph had. They might not have that connection that Joseph had. So having the right people in your inner circle most close to you, very important. So I took that away. I'm like, okay, cool. I got to keep the inner circle tight. So then I started thinking about who's in my inner circle. My wife, a beast. My best friend, on point. My kids, holding it down. So I'm like, okay, cool. Everything is lining up. Everything is lining up. What can I work on? And then from there, he started to talk to me about what you need to be around when you're getting ready to birth greatness. So when you're birthing greatness, you need to be in a certain atmosphere around like-minded individuals. Have you ever, so I make music, and anytime I get around other rappers, we'll be in there and we'll be like, yo, that beat is disgusting. I'll start spitting to it. He'll come up with a hook to it. You'll have a producer like, hey, everybody in the spot turned up. And now we're making something. We're birthing that greatness. So the same thing happens when you get around like-minded individuals. So the word says that Elizabeth was at her house. Mary, because the angel came to her and let her know that her cousin was pregnant, was like, yo, I got to go see her, because they're both pregnant at the same time and they both have this seed inside of them. So now these like-minded individuals, these people that are about to birth greatness, come together and they get around one another. And the word says when Mary was in close proximity of Elizabeth, John jumped inside of her and was filled with the Holy Spirit. And what I took from that was, I was like, we charge each other. Sometimes we feel like because our greatness isn't fully developed, that it don't matter. But it's that greatness that is within us. If we get around other people that's trying to do those great things, boom, we get things jumping. We get people getting excited about that, and the things that's within them start coming to life. So it's so important to be around those like-minded individuals. So now, you know me, I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so good. I can't wait to tell other people who want to birth greatness. And the last thing that he gave me was so important. We are so stuck on time in our society. Like, man, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too short, I'm too tall, I'm too set in my ways. We have all these excuses for why we can't do what we feel like is great. And the Lord was like, I can do the unexpected and I can do the impossible. You let me know what you want. And with Elizabeth, it was the unexpected. She's old in age, she barren, ain't nobody expecting for her to get pregnant. Boom, she pregnant. And then when it comes to Mary, she is a virgin, she's not married, she's never had sex with nobody. That's impossible. Boom, she pregnant. He does the impossible. And then what really brings it full circle for me, and what just let me know why he said I can still birth greatness, is that the word says that Elizabeth was advanced in age. So this means she is generally in her 60s, her 80s, and menopause is hit. She been barren all her life, and she just got pregnant. God just brought greatness, not just pregnant with a baby. John the Baptist came out of someone advanced in age, old, breaking down, getting ready to go home. And then you have this, I did my research on this as well, because I wanted to know, yo, how old was Mary? So I started researching the culture, and she was betrothed. That means she was engaged, not yet married. So when I did my research, in their culture at that time, you're usually engaged at the age of 12 to 14. So that means that Mary was only a baby girl when she was impregnated by the Holy Spirit to give birth to Christ. A little girl and an old woman. He says it don't matter how old you are, how young you are. If you have faith in me and you are obedient to my word, I will bring greatness out of you. And when I heard that, I closed the Bible on that note. I was like, that's what it is, and I prayed on it, I meditated on it, and I can't wait to get it out to other people that may feel like they're a little too old, may feel like they're a little too young, like, yo, man, I can't do everything that I feel that's inside of me. Only thing I have to say is know what's inside of you. And when you know what's inside of you, protect it, Put yourself around other people. Know that you're a vessel and that God can do anything, the unexpected and the impossible. So yes, you can be used to birth greatness, no matter what you've done, no matter where you come from, no matter who you are. Just understand some of these things, and hey, when you make it, I see you at the top. Bless and be blessed, y'all.